Hi, I'm Lauren Gray. This is Ask Lauren, and you are in the right place if you want to understand the opposite sex, improve your relationships, and grow in love. If you're in a relationship or a long-distance relationship and you're looking to improve the quality of your communication in order to deepen your connection, basically, if you want your guy to open up and share his feelings and inner world so you're not dating a brick wall, this episode is for you. Today's question is from Maria, and she writes, "Dear Lauren, help! I'm in a long-distance relationship and we hardly talk at all. When we're together in the same place, it's great, but we can't be together right now, and I feel like our connection is slipping away. When I try to give him feedback on his challenges, he gets offended and thinks I don't trust him. When I try to get him talking, he gives me one-word answers, and I feel almost lonelier than I did before we talked. It's never quite enough, and I know we're both suffering. How can I improve the communication and connection in our relationship?" Great question, Maria. Not getting enough time together is torture. And unfortunately, many of our honest attempts to connect end up in even more disconnection. That's where Mars Venus Intelligence comes in to save the day. Today, I'm going to show you 4 ways to improve the quality of your communication to fulfill your need for a connection that leaves you both satisfied. The first thing to realize is that men and women have different primary ways we connect. Women tend to shine and feel the most connected through communication. Men tend to shine and feel the most connected through physical affection. Ultimately, we love and thrive with both. But when you are in an LDR or you don't get enough time together, physical affection is mostly off the menu. And that leaves a heck of a lot of pressure on communication to fulfill all your connection needs. This is made an even bigger challenge because communication is not a man's intuitive strong suit. That's okay. It's going to take some conscious practices to create connection, but you can do it. I'll show you how in 4 practical, approachable steps. Let's begin. Step number 1, give him the love he needs. When he's sharing about his life, you want to contribute and give him feedback. You want to be another perspective and help him do even better. That feels like being a super awesome and supportive girlfriend, right? But to him, this kind of love isn't received as love at all. Unsolicited advice is the quickest way to turn a man off. Literally. He stops opening up to you and he'll pull away, ice cold or hot and defensive. When you give him unsolicited advice, he thinks you don't trust him to handle it himself. Trust is one of the 6 primary ways a man receives love. The opposite of trust, distrust, feels like the opposite of love, rejection. In response, he feels hurt, demoralized, and defensive. He disconnects. In order to create connection and help him the most, you can say, "I believe in you. You're so clever. I know you'll figure out a great solution." This is your most loving feedback. Your trust in him gives him the courage and energy to fight dragons. An issue at work shouldn't be a problem. And if you're dying to share your brilliance, compassion, and help, check out the blog for a communication hack that allows you to do this in an effective way. But ultimately, the intimacy and connection lies in your trust and belief in him. Step number 2, get him to open up and talk. When asking him questions to draw him out, there are 2 awesome questions that loosen his lips, and then there are the 2 questions that women tend to ask. The 2 questions that will end the conversation before it begins: how do you feel? How was your day? Let's look at why these questions shut the door on connection. Question 1, how do you feel? Unless he's really upset, a man doesn't immediately have ready access to his feelings. Think of feelings like a bag of chips. A woman just has to open the bag and reach in to start snacking. A man has trouble opening the bag in the first place. Question number 2, how was your day? Unless his day was absolutely the worst day ever and he wants to rant about it, he's going to give you a one-word answer to that question. How was his day? Fine. It's fine. It's always fine. I remember being in the audience the day my dad did a whole Oprah show about this very topic. It was hysterical to see the results live from wives and girlfriends asking their partners these questions versus the ones I'm about to share with you now. One set got us nothing. The next opened the floodgates. Let me show you. The two questions that will get him talking. What do you think? What did you do today? Question 1 is effective because a man can easily and immediately access what he thinks. It's always at the tip of his tongue and the forefront of his brain. Question 2 is effective because he knows what he did, and he's usually proud to share his accomplishments and problem solving with the woman he loves and wants to impress. Changing up the question you ask will encourage him to open up and talk more. Step number 3, switch up the story on this limiting belief. Before I reveal the limiting belief, I need to share a very important relationship insight with you. In a relationship, a woman should do most of the talking, and a man should do most of the listening. Contrary to popular belief, this isn't a limiting gender role. This is actually gender science. You can read all about that science in this awesome book by John Gray, Beyond Mars and Venus. But for now, here's the short version. When a woman expresses herself, shares her day, and she feels heard, oxytocin is produced. Oxytocin is a bonding and pleasure hormone for women. Talking and sharing is a way to hotwire connection and improve the quality of your communication. Listening releases the hormone testosterone, which in a man's biology is a pleasure hormone, and being there for his lady in this special way helps him feel bonded to her. This hotwires connection for him. So when you're talking and he's listening, you are effectively hotwiring your connection to each other through communication. Okay, I can already hear the peanut gallery. Yes, men can also produce the hormone oxytocin, but the effect in his body isn't pleasure and bonding, he just gets sleepy. And often sharing his feelings only makes him more frustrated, making it more about the problems he's dealing with and less about connection with you. Yes, women can also produce testosterone through listening, but the effect isn't pleasure or bonding, it just feels like going to work. Without this crucial knowledge of gender differences and hormones, women often have a limiting belief around communication that stops them from experiencing quality, fulfilling, and intimate communication with their partners. What's the limiting belief? They believe both partners need to talk and share equally in order for it to be fair and loving, and only fair and loving can create connection. When you try to make it fair and ask him a lot of questions to get him talking, a man feels undue pressure. It feels demanding and uncomfortable. Or worse, it encourages his complaining side, which doesn't feel strong, confident, or sexy to him, and certainly isn't a turn-on in the long run for you. When you can recognize that your job is to talk more than listen, you open the doors for quality communication. A woman talking and a man listening provides all the hormonal vitamins and nutrients to create mutual and fulfilling connection if you get out of your own way. Creating a safe, non-demanding, non-critical space for a man to open up and share is what steps 1, 2, and 3 are all about. But this sharing should always be seen as optional and a bonus rather than a necessary ingredient for connection. Unless you can switch up your story on this limiting belief, you will continue to feel frustrated, disconnected, unfulfilled, and insecure in your relationships. And we can't have that. Step number 4, the most important step of all. I once took a course on how to get more followers on Facebook for your business. I remember the teacher said the number one thing you should do to get more success on Facebook is to do more outside of Facebook. The more you do offline in the real world, the better your online business will be. Relationships are the same. In order to experience fulfillment in a relationship, you have to find fulfillment outside of the relationship. The more you fill up outside your relationship, the better your experience of your relationship will be. This is not a betrayal. This is a necessity. If you want to improve the quality of your communication and connection, you have to do this. A long-distance relationship or simply a busy schedule means less time together. This often leaves a woman feeling deprived, hungry, empty, desperate for a letter, email, or phone call to fill the void. But this void is too vast, and expecting this moment of communication to fill it is an unrealistic expectation. The thing about unrealistic expectations is that they are absolute brick walls between you and the satisfaction you're looking for. They are the ultimate source of disconnection between couples. Find your happy elsewhere, nurture it, fill up on me time joy, and then when you communicate with your partner, enjoy the cherry on top. There's way less pressure on these moments, and you can actually appreciate and enjoy the connection instead of forcing it or feeling disappointed. This is important. A man sees a happy, fulfilled woman, and he has the confidence to think, yes, I can make her happier. And he shows up in an amazing way. This energy makes him feel connected to you and makes him want to spend more time with you because he feels like he can make your life better, that he matters, and that he can make a difference. Combine this with the non-judgmental, safe space you've developed through steps 1 through 3, and you've got connection, baby. But this is also true, and it's equally important. A man sees an unhappy, unfulfilled, desperate, needy, insecure, or unsatisfied woman and thinks, it's my fault. I'm making her miserable. She'd be better off without me. With this energy, he falls on his sword and disconnects. If nothing he does is good enough to make you satisfied, he believes he's not good enough, and that leads to the ultimate disconnection. So it is so important for every woman to learn how to enhance her happy and fulfillment outside of the relationship to experience more happiness and fulfillment inside the relationship. Whether you are in a long-distance relationship, you don't get enough time together, or you're just feeling like you want a deeper connection, these steps are for you. With steps 1 through 4, I know you can improve your communication and experience connection beyond your wildest dreams. Did you like this video? Please use the social sharing buttons and share it with your friends. Love is natural. We're built to love. But creating our dream relationship is something we learn. So keep learning. Hold compassion in your heart and worthiness in your being because you deserve a great relationship. If you're ready for the love of your life, visit me at marsvenus.com and sign up for email updates. You'll get instant access to our sensational free course, How to Get Everything You Want in Relationships for Men, Women, Singles, and Couples. You'll also get exclusive content, special offers, and personal insights from me that I only share in email. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Ask Lauren. Oh, now that I know that there's a camera over there. I'm just kidding.